What are you doing? My little inventor getting tired?
I'll be up in a minute.
Okay, well, I'm going to bed now. Getting tired? Little inventor getting tired?
Welcome to the second chapter of patent law made ridiculously simple. Claims are the heart of any patent, and you have to be able to tell the difference between one claim and another. Just because one claim sounds like another is no reason to turn the page. Listen to this typical claim language. The first means is coupled to the second means, wherein said first means is capable of alternatively being in communication therewith third means, which are substantially simultaneously responsive to fourth means in cooperation therewith yet more and more means. Ha ha!
Og, you've invented the wheel.
Og?
Yes, you're Og and I'm Sack.
Well, what happened to Harry and Betty?
It's your dream, silly. You've invented the wheel.
No, something's wrong.
What?
Well, look at it. It's round. It should be square. Everything nowadays is square.
But that's it, Og. That's the distinguishing feature. That's what makes your wheel different. It's round. I'll have to write a business plan, and you need a patent.
A patent? What's a patent?
It's protection for your invention, and you get it through an attorney.
No, not an attorney. Keep the gravel, huh?
I'm glad when you patent this wheel. Then maybe you can invent the elevator.
Yes. Of course. We will call you to confirm your appointment a day in advance. Thank you.
We're here to see Ms. Chavez.
She's expecting you. Follow me.
Miss Back, Mr. Ogg, have a seat.
Thank you.
I'm Paula Chavez. So, you have an invention and you want to learn about patents.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Paula Chavez, patent attorney.
Paula Chavez, patent attorney.
We here at IP Videos are only too aware of how tedious and boring patent law can be. An hour's consultation with a patent attorney can leave one with glazed eyes, an empty wallet, and still very little understanding of this technical subject. For this reason, we spared no expense to keep you both entertained and alert throughout this video.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
How can I help you?
Ogg's invented the wheel, and we want to know how to get a patent on it. And how much that will cost.
The wheel. Is this some kind of joke? This is the wheel? This is the moment that revolutionizes civilization when the actual inventors of the wheel come to their patent attorney seeking intellectual property protection?
I guess so.
Don't worry. This is just for posterity. We won't create a bar date.
Bar date?
I'll explain later. Before we get back to your questions about how to get a patent and how much it'll cost, let's talk about the different types of intellectual property and the ways you can protect them. First, what is intellectual property? Intellectual property is your ideas, your creative efforts, like your idea of the wheel. Or a song you compose. Or a picture you draw. Or a book you write. Intellectual property in its general sense is different from, say, real estate.
This is not intellectual property.
It's also different from personal property.
This is not intellectual property.
So you see, you can't touch intellectual property in a physical sense, but nonetheless, it can still be specifically identified, characterized, owned, and protected. There are many ways to protect intellectual property, such as under the laws of trademark, trade dress, copyrights, trade secrets, contracts, and patents. And one product may even be protected by all of the forms. The best way to protect your invention of the wheel is with a patent. Patents are used to protect all types of inventions: chemical, biotech, electrical, mechanical, and software, as well as designs and plans. Each type of intellectual property protection is different from the other. Each type of intellectual property protection has different requirements for development and maintenance, and makes available a different set of rights. Software is an example of a product that can be protected by all of the forms of intellectual property protection. Software code is written in a software language and is stored on a couple of disks in this box. Software code can be protected in the following ways: copyright, patent, trade secret, a large man named Mustafa. Wait a minute, that shouldn't be there. There's only 3 ways: copyrights, patents, trade secrets. The product's name and identifying logo are protectable under trademark law. In addition to trademark protection, the box can be protected by copyright and trade dress law. The wording of the sales information and the graphics on the box are protectable under copyright law. Some people might think that the look of the box as a whole is protectable under trade dress law. Finally, the contract included inside the box is also intended to protect the product under contract law.
How do you know the value of a patent?
Great question. If you want to have a monopoly, a patent would be very valuable if it gives you the right to stop your competitors from knocking off your product. In that case, you could place a high value on your patent. Patents can be analogous to a border you are creating. If the border is narrow, it will be easy to cross. If the border is broad, it will be hard to cross. Broad patents are definitely preferable over narrow ones because with a broad patent, your competition will need your help to cross the border. With a broad patent, it's like being a troll at a bridge, collecting money to pass.
All right. How do I get a patent?
The first step is for a patent attorney to prepare a patent application and file it with the Patent and Trademark Office in Washington, D.C. A patent application is an offer to the government to exchange a benefit to society for a monopoly. The benefit being an advancement of the state of the art. In this sense, it's like any other contract you make. The patent application must then be negotiated with the patent examiner. This negotiation process is called prosecution and can take several years.
Years?
Yes, years. After the prosecution is completed and the patent is granted, the inventor has a contract with the government. Because the invention has met the patentability requirements, the inventor now gets a monopoly on the invention.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. How much is this going to cost?
Before you get too far ahead of yourself, we need to determine if your invention has met all of the patentability requirements. Before filing an application, ask whether certain time limits have been strictly observed. The invention is novel and non-obvious. A way to make the invention work is described. Okay, so the first requirement is that certain time limits have been strictly observed. In the patent profession, we refer to these time limits as bar dates. So let's learn about bar dates.
You have the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen.
Well, they're brown, but that's okay. Let's get out of here.
No, not that kind of bar date.
Yeah.
We don't mean sleazy bar dates. Sorry for digression. What we meant was that a bar date is a point in time after which you can no longer apply for a patent. You lose your opportunity to play Monopoly. It's the date after which the buzzer sounds and you are out of the game. It's the date after which, even if you are close, you get no cigar. It's the bar date.
It's the worst kind of patent tragedy. And the worst part about bar dates is that inventors and business people create their own. That is, by their own actions and inactions, they cause the bar dates that preclude their even being allowed to apply for patent protection.
Do you mean we could have already done something that would prevent us from ever getting a patent on the wheel?
That's right.
What is it that we were not supposed to do?
There are 3 ways you can trigger a bar date. A bar date is triggered when a sufficient description of the invention is published, when there is an offer of the invention for sale, when there is public disclosure of the invention. If you describe your invention in a publication, you will trigger a bar date. Have you published anything about your wheel in a newspaper or magazine? Have you taken a picture similar to this and had it printed in a Cave Products trade journal? offer your invention for sale, you will trigger a bar date. Notice I said offer. That means even if you don't make the sale, you will still trigger a bar date. For example, if you put a for sale sign on your wheel, you trigger a bar date. That is, all you have to do is say the product or process is for sale. Have you offered to sell your wheel to anyone? Excellent! Finally, if you publicly disclose your invention in any way, even by just having it in public view, you have triggered a bar date. Have you displayed your invention in public?
Oh, no. We dragged our wheel from the Outerlands through downtown and up to your office. Everybody saw it.
I don't suppose you had everyone who saw your wheel sign an agreement that they would keep it a secret. By publicly disclosing your invention, you have lost your opportunity to file patent applications in most foreign countries. Most countries require that you file your patent application before you commit an act that triggers a bar date. But, on the other hand, you can still file in the United States because the U.S. is the exception to the rule. The United States requires that you file your patent application within 1 year of triggering a bar date.
Let me make sure I understand this. The first time anyone saw our wheel was today when we dragged it in plain view of the world. That means we still can file our patent application within 1 year of today in the United States. But have we then missed our opportunity to file patent applications in many foreign countries?
You still may be able to file in a small number of countries if you hurry. Now, class, it's important for you to remember that if you want foreign patent protection in regions such as Europe and Japan, that you file your patent application before you publish, offer to sell, or publicly disclose your invention. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security by the U.S. one-year law. You need to observe foreign laws if you want foreign patent protection. As a rule of thumb, you should always file your patent application before you publish, offer to sell, or publicly disclose your invention. If you want to show your invention to someone, have them sign a non-disclosure agreement prepared by an attorney. But what's the most important thing to remember about foreign filing rights?
When you trigger a bar date, you lose nearly all of your foreign filing rights.
That's correct! Okay, remember there were 3 things we had to look at before filing the application. We have just discussed bar dates. Now we need to look at whether your invention is novel and non-obvious. In negotiating with the examiner at the Patent and Trademark Office, typically the discussion will center on whether the invention is novel and non-obvious. For your invention to satisfy the novelty requirement, there must be no other invention exactly like yours in the prior art.
What do paintings have to do with my wheel?
Prior art is an artwork. It refers to those inventions created before yours that are the same as or similar to yours. Prior art might be described in a publication or might be used by someone clear across the world. Prior art does not have to be patented.
You mean that prior art is like the squares that the taxi was using?
That's correct, and we can find out what other prior art may exist by contacting a search firm. We can also look for prior art by keyword searching on some computer databases.
Is our wheel novel since there is already a square out there?
If the square is the closest prior art to your wheel, then your wheel is novel because the square is not exactly like your wheel. Now, the next issue is whether your wheel is non-obvious. This is a subjective concept which depends upon, among other things, the advocacy skills of your patent attorney in negotiating with the examiner.
Okay. I'm ready. How much is it going to cost?
We're not ready to talk cost yet. Remember, there's one more thing we have to look at. We have just discussed bar dates and whether the invention is novel and non-obvious. We now need to determine whether you can describe a way to make the invention work.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say earlier that I can protect an idea with a patent? Can I really patent an idea? I've got lots of ideas.
I know someone who has patented ideas. Let's go talk to Dr. Goduncan. Dr. Goduncan, thank you for meeting us here today.
Oh, it's no problem, really. I was just out for a stroll.
Dr. Goduncan, you've patented ideas. Please tell us about your patented ideas.
Yes, I have patented self-buttering bread, virtual fantasy, turbo rubber ducky, and other patently absurd ideas. But do you know who has patented more ideas than anyone else I can think of? That would be Mr. Jerry Lemelson. He has over 500 patents, and most of them are ideas that he had never worked into a working model or a prototype. He would think of an invention and then write a detailed description of how to make it work. He is most prolific.
My goodness, what does he do with all of those patents?
So he licenses them to industry, and he makes over $200 million a year on licensing fees from his patents. He is not only prolific, he's very rich.
$200 million? That really is a lot of money, isn't it? Well, thank you for this very interesting discussion, Dr. Goduncan. We appreciate your time.
You are most welcome.
But you can only get a patent on an idea if your patent application describes a way to make the invention work. Moreover, you must also disclose the best way that you know how to make the invention work. For example, do you remember the TV show Star Trek?
We don't have cable.
Oh. Well, in this show, they used a transporter to beam people from place to place. This is a wonderful idea, but it's not patentable because no one can describe a way to make it work outside of Hollywood. Of course, as soon as someone does figure out a workable way to transport people, an application will surely be filed. Hang on a second. Dr. Goduncan, I forgot to ask you a question. Are you working on a way to make the transporter work?
How did you know? Huh.
Okay, we reviewed the 3 things I need to think about before filing the application. Now, I know I'm ready to file the application, but I still don't know how much it's going to cost. And where do I get the form?
There is no form. A patent application is a detailed document that should be prepared by an experienced patent attorney. Let's look at the most important part of a patent. That is the part that describes the invention. The numbered paragraphs at the end of the patent are the most important part of the patent and are called the claims.
So what's in the rest of the patent? Patents are usually quite thick, aren't they? It looks like the claims take up only 1 page.
The rest of the patent includes the background of the invention, that is, the prior art, the summary of the invention, the drawings of the invention, and the detailed description of the invention. But the claims at the end of the patent are the most important aspect of the document. When an examiner at the Patent and Trademark Office reviews the application, he or she will closely review each claim. If the patent ever ends up in litigation, the judge will focus on the claims. All of your competitors and any potential licensees will carefully review the claims.
Why does everyone care so much about the claims?
Do you remember when I told you that if you get a patent, you will have a monopoly on your invention?
Yes?
Well, to determine if someone is violating your monopoly by copying your invention, you have to look at the definition of your invention. Since your invention would be defined in the claims of your patent, you would compare an alleged infringer's product to your claims. If their product contains all of the elements of one of your claims, they have violated your monopoly.
That's what we call patent infringement.
You know, we have a patent that one of our competitors gave us. He said it was for our information.
And who is your competitor?
Some guy named Lemelson.
Well, let's take a look at your competitor's patent. This is interesting. The drawings almost show a wheel. Let's look at the claims, starting with Claim 1. To infringe a patent, your product must have all the elements of one claim. You only need to infringe one claim of a patent to infringe that patent.
What happens if we do infringe on someone's patent?
You could end up in very costly litigation. For example, in a patent infringement case regarding an airplane navigation system, the jury awarded damages of $1.2 billion.
Wow.
If you are ever presented with a patent by a competitor, you should have an attorney look it over and advise you. The circumstances may even warrant a written opinion. Well, I believe our hour's up.
But you never said how much this wheel will cost to patent.
Well, if the prior art search pans out and we don't get any big fights from the patent office, I would estimate, with filing fees, drawings, issue fees, preparation, and prosecution, somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
This is just an estimate for a U.S. filing and is, of course, subject to adjustment. It could be more.
Or less.
It could be less.
When can we expect you to finish our patent application?
I'll have to check my calendar. I'll call you next week and let you know.
Great.
Thanks.
We hope you found the patents video entertaining and informative. Our mission at IP Videos is to bring you intellectual property for your entertainment. Well, goodbye for now, and don't forget about those bar dates.